Sean, I think a lot of golfers have heard about swing plane, right? And how to plane the club coming down. I don't think a lot of golfers have heard about the body planes.
Exactly.
And there's a few of them, right? The hips turn on a plane, shoulders turn on a plane, arms turn on a plane, club turns on a plane. We're gonna kind of combine a couple of those in today's video and talk about the upper body plane and how that is gonna help you plane the golf club better so you can hit more solid, more consistent iron shots. John, we teach primarily on the elbow plane, right? And it's a reference line. If you haven't seen our money line video, go check that out. Because you're really gonna understand all about the elbow plane there. Now, to help us get on the elbow plane, we need the body to cooperate. And that's, the body has to turn with the right amount of tilt as it's rotating.
Yeah, and I think a lot of times we only think in terms of rotation in the golf swing, but at the same time, the body is tilting as you make a turn, and that's what creates this plane to the body that we're talking about.
Right.
And today we're going to put our focus on this upper body, torso, shoulder area.
Yeah, kind of between the waist and the neck.
Yeah, because that's, you know, the one link between the hands and the body is this kind of upper body arm link, right?
That's exactly right.
So if you can get this correct, it's a lot easier to swing the arms and the club on plane.
And we've done videos in the past talking about where we would have golfers place a club across their shoulders or like a broomstick, make a turn, and you know, where does this stick point relative to the golf ball? But what we see in practice sometimes is golfers will take that and they'll turn and they'll kind of artificially, you know, the shoulder's got a lot of range of motion, so they'll kind of artificially hike one up, or more common, we see the left one hike up and really kind of, they're good, and then that left one comes up to get a bigger turn, and then you're toast.
Yeah, they're using the elevation and kind of depression of the shoulders to change the tilts. It's really not the way you want to do it. You want to do it with the rib cage.
That's right.
And we talk about rib cage and gears a lot, but you got to start, as you start to get more understanding of the swing and helping yourself with your game, you got to remember the shoulders move completely independent of the rib cage, and they both have their important parts of the swing.
And they move independently of one another.
Exactly right, and they move independently of one another. But for today, let's talk about this plane of this rib cage, upper body, and keeping the shoulders just kind of down in the socket, right? We don't like to see this a lot.
It's exactly right. Yeah, we don't want to see the shrug. We don't want to see the
massive
arch,
pullback.
Right, and we don't want to see, really don't want to see the both shoulders round a four, because that's going to limit your rotation, and it's almost always going to force you to shallow out the plane of the upper body and the backswing. So what are some kind of common ideas that golfers use, or we'd like golfers to use, to kind of start to plane the body correctly?
Well, I think we'll talk about some of the death moves first, right? And we start to talk about some of this stuff in our videos, the things that you can do wrong that completely going to ruin your golf swing.
Right.
We call it a death move, right? And other teachers have used it, but it's just a nice term to
Killer
think of in your
move,
head.
death move, things
Whatever.
you don't want to do in the swing.
Death move number one with this plane is getting set up correctly and then thinking about turning level.
Right.
Okay, completely destroys the backswing, destroys the plane of the body. Also, a lot of times gets the club off plane immediately inside. And because I'm so level here to the ground and the club's behind me, I have to bend back over. I have to get back on some plane to hit the ball, because obviously I'd hit Mike.
Or you just raise the arms up.
Yeah, or you do this, which most of the time you do, but still you have to bend back over to hit it, and that brings this club, you can see how steep that would be to hit him right there, and I'd be so over the top and left with my swing direction, it's unplayable.
I think some golfers, in an attempt to turn more in the backswing, and that's a whole nother video, will level everything out to gain more range of motion. And what that range of motion, what they think that range of motion does is they help them hit the ball farther, but they get such poor angles that they wind up hitting it shorter because they can't recover from that in that quarter of a second downswing.
Great point. I'm going to have Mike do something here real quick. Just stick your hands up and put it on top of my head. So the way to kind of checkpoint that, and what Mike is saying, a lot of you are overturning and standing up to do it. You want to go until you kind of maxed out, and if the next tick would make you come off the wall, that's too much. Yeah. Your governor is, can you keep your head on this plane? Can you keep your head on this plane? The maximum amount of turn you have there, that's it for you. Some guys can go more, some guys can go less. But if I wanted to do more, and I do it in my own swing, I get up and away, and it causes me some major downswing issues. So that will destroy the shoulder plane.
Yeah, we don't hit it in the backswing, and we don't hit it farther because the backswing number increases. We still have to manage it on the downswing. And most golfers are going to benefit more on a better downswing rotation than backswing rotation.
Yeah, and that's a great way to check the governor there to see, or it governs your amount of backswing turn. If you have to pull up and away, that's too much. And that's another, thought process too. To do that correctly, to keep my head on that hand, I have to turn my shoulders in a good plane, because if I turn them level, right. Or I turned them almost too steep, it's impossible to do.
That's exactly right. So it's a really good kind of macro bird's eye view of what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
Now we're going to come back and show you how to do that.
Yeah, we got a brand new drill that we've been testing out, and we've been getting a lot of good results with it. We think you guys are going to like it too.
All right, so we're back for our drill, and just to show you what's going on, we're showing you Sean's best side right here.
Yeah.
So we've got an alignment stick, and the ideal thing would be to use a little bungee cord kind of tapered to fit your chest size, but we've got just this rubber band here that we've got just to hold the alignment stick. Let's face the camera now, Sean. Just to hold the alignment stick right snug to his back. So we've got now, and if you've seen our gears videos in the past, you see the body lines that stick out of the body. This is very similar to that.
Tin cup style.
So this is like a $3, $4 gears, poor man's gears, right? So let's have you set up, Sean, with this in mind. So this is gonna help. We've got a lot of drills with this. This is gonna help a lot of things in the golf swing. So one, got this stick right down here on his back, snug to his back. So this is also gonna make sure that he rotates enough, because a lot of you guys will start back and then lift the arms, and this thing won't rotate. You'll get a big...
Now, I got some shoulder motion.
Yeah.
I've got retraction of the right, and
got a collapse right arm,
and I've
all
got
that.
the left protracted this way, right? So I've got some shoulder motion, but this barely moves.
But it goes back to golfers, like,
yeah.
it's like, what are you using to kind of get that top of the backswing?
We're going to use our big muscles in the core and start rotating this rib cage as we move the arm. I mean, I feel like all these muscles across my abdomen are kind of engaging as I turn to the top. And to turn that
nice
thing,
tilt to this.
I'm using a lot more muscle.
Core chest.
Yeah, than I sometimes normally do. So
right.
I need this drill.
We all can kind of lean on the arms.
Yeah.
You've seen our abduction video.
You get lazy with this.
That collapses this, and then you lose the lag, you lose all the things in the downswing. This is going to kind of force you to be honest with your rotation in the backswing and train for it.
Yeah.
Increase it. All right, so that's the first thing. Just put this on, and let's just make some real slow backswings, feeling this thing, trying to basically get somewhere over your left foot, your lead foot.
Yeah.
Like that's about a 90-degree shoulder turn. Some of you will be able to go more, some of you might not be able to go.
And that's a nice wind up across this way in my body.
But when you're doing this, have a mirror that you're standing in front of so you can mark your progress.
Yeah.
I can't get it over my foot, I maybe get it out here. Well, in a week or so, you will be getting it over your foot. And if you're getting it way past your foot, you probably are raising up a little bit, right?
Yeah,
so you want to keep,
absolutely.
You want to keep the slope to it.
Make sure too you aren't restricting the hips a whole lot.
Yep.
I mean, you can kind of keep an eye about a 45, about as much as you want, maybe 50, right? But don't do this, make this real twisting motion off your ankles, because I didn't really do anything.
Because you're getting the stick around you now, but again, we've lost the tilt. We've lost our body plane that we're after.
And lost any kind of torque I've built up in my body, right? So that's kind of level one, just awareness, right?
Yep.
So we've got the turn part. What are we missing?
Okay, so now we got to get the downswing part.
Yeah, well, even the backswing. I mean, we've got the turn. When Mike was saying this, he's correct to the foot, but it's got to be pointed down. Don't point it up at the sky.
That's exactly right. It's got to be pointed out here past the ball on the ground, not at the wall.
Absolutely.
Okay, now for the downswing. And this is after you nail this part. Don't jump straight to this part if you can't do this part.
Yeah.
All right, so we've got our $20 boom microphone stand from Amazon. We got a noodle attached to it. So Sean, what club you got there?
I got an 8-iron.
All right, so stand that 8-iron straight up. So we want to get this noodle basically laying right around 8-iron height. All right, so now what Sean's going to do, so this is going to train the right angle for you.
So as I go back this time, if I turn correctly at an angle, I should be able to get under the noodle on the backswing.
That's right.
So that it kind of doubles as a backswing drill.
Yep.
The trick for a lot of you, though, a lot of you from here are going to start right bending a little bit too quick and going to smash this or miss it on the above. What the best players in the world do, they're able to start down and miss this as they rotate their body. They're not immediately backing
There's
up
some
this
left
way.
side, actually lowering and kind of left side crunch.
Kind of a digging in, we call
Yes.
it. And that obviously helps get some little more pressure spiked into that foot. But definitely, I think the kiss of death or the death move here, right, is the right side bend immediately out of the top.
See, a lot of golfers do that trying to shallow the club.
Yeah, excessive amount. And a lot of guys kind of hold a little, and a lot of guys will start down kind of gradually with the right side bend. But if you have a lot of it and you can see this stick miss this, too much. So good checkpoint here. Just turn your body so the stick goes back under, and then you can start going into your finish. And yes, your right side of this will get lower, right? But what a great awareness tool.
So if you do this and you find yourself coming over the top, right, that's really isolating what you're not doing with your arms. Golfers don't use their arms well enough in the downswing. So you want to move the body this way while teaching yourself now to lower the arms to shallow the club.
Yeah, and I think we've got some videos on that. You know, you got steeps and shallows in the swing. You learn how to move your body a little bit steeper in transition, so you might start coming over the top. You've got to learn to get the arms working down, right, and lowering.
Because most golfers shallow the club, they go to the top, and to lower the arms,
by tilting
they
the
do
body.
this, and that's where you would hit this. So we're taking that away from you, making you...
Keeping you honest with the tilts of the body.
And Sean's going to lower the arms as he's doing that.
So I can lower the arms. Now everything kind of levels out right here as the handle, the handles are waist high. Then the right side gets lower, the hip, right side of the pelvis and the right side of the upper body gets lower. That's what allows the club to go around the corner.
So let's make a swing. We're not going to hit a ball at the camera, hopefully. And let's kind of show it more slow speed and then build up some speed as we go.
So slow motion, set up here, there, 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 a little faster, right?
Yep.
I can just kind of get good at that. You can even get some foam balls if you have in your backyard. I mean, you don't have to bring this contraption out to the range, but do it in your backyard and just get a sense for what your body's doing. We say it all the time, you got to have feedback or you're just exercising.
This is one of those great drills, and by that I mean you will get the feel for what you need to do very quickly.
Yeah.
So you can do this at home. I would suggest you do this 10, 15 minutes before you go play. If you lose it on the golf course, 10, 15 minutes when you get home.
Yeah.
Like if you can do this 10, 15 minutes every day until this just becomes a habit for you, you'll be amazed at how well your ball striking is going to start to perform out there on the course.
Yeah, and we get members all the time submitting their swing on Facebook, and we see on the private membership group, we a lot of times see flat shoulders going back, and when you send in swings, we can kind of draw lines in video and get a good sense. Their shoulders are really flat here. 9 times out of 10, they're either going to come way over the top or they're going to sling that thing underneath. Very hard to get a neutral swing direction. So, you know, a lot of times submitting the video, we can see it, point them in the right direction. And a lot of times it's a drill like this where they get some awareness for the body.
That's exactly right. So give this drill a try. Start first without the second piece, the arm here. Get the feel for the movement and make sure you're rotating enough with the tilt. Now put in your kind of truth detector. That's going to make sure you're turning enough and you're turning at the proper tilt, and then start to add some swing movements to it. If you get some foam balls, even better. You will start to move your body on plane, then the club's got a chance to move on plane.
If you enjoyed today's video, go ahead and give us a like, give us a thumbs up. Also, if you have a question about the video or there's a topic you want us to cover in a future video, leave it down in the comments below. We read every single comment and we respond to them, and that's how we create new content for you in the future. Now, if you haven't already, go ahead and click the subscribe button so you know exactly when one of our new videos comes out. If you want more compression on your iron shots, more tour quality, solid iron shots every time you go out to play, we created a free video just for you. In the pinned comment below, you're gonna find a link. Click on the link, gonna be taken to another page. You're gonna enter your name and your email address. Once you do that, you're gonna be taken instantly to the free video training where you're gonna learn our #1 go-to drill to get more compression on your iron shots, which is gonna allow you to hit more greens and have more fun playing the game.